Hey everyone, so as promised, I like to keep my promises. We're bringing some of the suppliers and partners that we work with in our pallet company at Guero Pallets. As you know, Guero Pallets is a national pallet company. So in order to make that happen, we have to partner with the best of the best. That also means for our freight transportation. So here with me is amazing Tyson with King of Freight, who is going to share to you how to get a hold of him, what kind of work he does, and he can surely ask me anything.
Hey, well, thank you for having me, Martha. It's a pleasure to be here. Just a quick in a nutshell about the day in the life of what I do here as a broker for King of Freight. Um, First of all, I want to say I love it because companies such as yourself, Martha, I mean, the bottom line is we have to get things moving and we have to keep customers happy. So in order to do that, transportation is a huge part of that. And that's where I come in. I deal with trucks on a daily basis, owner operators, asset-based carriers. And when you need a price to get to point A to point B, you call me. I have my direct line always on LinkedIn. You catch me on Facebook. 316-730-9182 is my cell phone number. But I also kick out my email as well. We can go back and forth with that later, Martha. But in a nutshell, that's what we do. We take pride in helping our customers out. Trucks are very hard to find with this market about now because the capacity is, I mean, it's null to, it's hard. Let's just say that. But we provide trucks for companies, and at the end of the day, trucks rely on us. They call me on a daily basis asking for loads, so asking how can they get home, how can we appease a customer today, how can we make somebody happy. So in a nutshell, I kind of play the middleman for the customer and for the trucks themselves.
And Tyson, you actually hit an important point that I didn't mention, is that right now, all of you are aware, there's a shortage in drivers. It's really hard to find transportation. But I think what's very important when you're considering partnering with a freight company, you want to talk to someone who's reliable. I've always talked to Tyson. It's really easy to get a hold of him. He tells me, hey, I have a trucker available, and he has him, and he shows up when he has to. He said he's going to show up today. He shows up today. If he shows up tomorrow, he lets me know. So you want to work with somebody who is easy to get a hold of, and they're honest with you. They're not just hiding because they can't get the trucker when you want it to. He tells me, like, Martha, this is the deal. It can't happen today, but it'll happen tomorrow. So that allows me to communicate to my end user. Again, just give us your full name, how we can get a hold of you, and I'm also going to put it under the comments and on the feed right here.
Yeah, so my name is Tyson Pollard. I work with King of Freight. We're a third-party freight logistics. My direct phone number is 316-730-9182. That's night and day. That's at midnight. That's 5 a.m. Doesn't matter. East Coast customers, West Coast, Canada, we service it all. I'm here. And then also, of course, my email, Tyson, Tyson, P as in Paul, @kingoffreight.com.
Yeah, and Tyson goes far. I mean, what's the farthest one you've done for me so far? I can't remember.
The hardest one, I'm not gonna lie, out there in Canaan, Wisconsin. It's kind of a rural area, which I deal with a lot because we have customers all in any neck of the woods. It doesn't matter if it's a very popular lane or if the customer is 350 miles away from a truck. I mean, we all have a job to do, and that's what I take pride in. I don't take pride in just the easy ones. I take pride in them all.
You've done my Maryland one too, right? You ship pallets from Maryland into Chicago.
Yes, I have. I almost forgot about that. Yes, Maryland. And not to mention Maryland on the East Coast. Oh boy. Yes. I mean, it's hard because you got to understand, trucks at the end of the day, they want to try to get as much money as they possibly can, it doesn't matter necessarily, but especially Maryland. And thank you, Martha, for pointing that out, because Maryland, I just remember that was a tough one. But yes, that Maryland was tough. At the end of the day, we got the job done, didn't we, Martha?
Yep, it got done and it got delivered to my plant. So guys, if you need a freight company, please contact Tyson because he's your guy and I work with him and you have to work with him. If you want reliable service, if you don't want reliable service, then look for someone else.
Absolutely. Thank you, Martha.